Hi everyone, good evening. Just going to start now. We'll start with the whiteboard. The first and the foremost topic before even SQL. Let me know if my screen is visible. White color screen you will be seeing. Is it visible? Okay. The first thing we are going to talk about is this. Great, Pankaj. Just don't install it. I'll ask you to share it. Then you share the screen. Don't install it, okay? Database. Now let's try to understand what a database is. Now first let's try to understand what database is. Let me draw something here. Anubhav, link is shared. I'll share it once again. Wait. Download the second one. Okay, let's come back here. Let me draw tables over here. This is kind of blue color. 1, 2, 2. Now, here we will see this is T1, table 1, or you can say this is a, we can take an example of, let's take table 1 only, table 1, table 2, table 3. So basically when we talk about database, so database is nothing but in simple term is a collection of multiple tables. In simple words, proper definition also I'll tell you. But in simple words, it's a collection of which thing, Vikesh? What to repeat again? Vikesh? Okay. So these are just normal tables. T1, T2, T3, nothing. Just 3 tables are there. You can name it anything. Customer, sales, whatever you want. That is just a normal table. Let's try to understand what database is. So basically, when we talk about a database, so database is nothing but a collection of tables. Now, when we dig deep down into the definition, a proper clear-cut definition of it. So basically, database is a collection of interrelated data or interrelated tables. Like, for example, if you remember, let me now phrase these tables to the name. If you remember, we have HR shift. Remember all of you? HR shift table was there. HR department was there. No, Amit, wait. I'll show you how to download that. Wait. First, let's understand what database is. We'll see how to do that. We'll see how to do that. First, let's try to understand what database is. HR shift table was there, and there was SR department, and then there was employee history table. Yes, you all remember this thing. Employee history and HR shift were connected with each other. These two tables were connected each other. For those who don't, who cannot relate right now, what all these tables we are talking. So we have discussed one data set in our Power BI session, that was HR data. And in that HR database, we have these 3 to 4 files, which showed us, which have shown us, which we have seen in the data modeling when the connection and relationship was there. Okay. So these are the two tables: HR shift, HR department, and employee history. One-to-one relationship, yes. One-to-one, one-to-many, those kind of relationship, yes. Now, if you see, are these tables related to each other? Yes, it is. These three tables are related to each other. So this is what we call database. So database is nothing but a collection of interrelated data or interrelated tables. Now, why we need this? So basically, database is required to insert the data, to fetch the data or retrieve the data, and to delete the data. Now, you must have seen now the best example is one or the other day you might have opened your DMAT account. Most of you might have the DMAT account. Okay. So yes, are you aware about the DMAT account? What exactly it is? Okay, for those who don't know DMAT account, so basically DMAT account is used for buying stocks, selling stocks, and trading in the share market. For that purpose, we use DMAT account. Okay, we buy and sell the stocks on a platform, and for that we need a DMAT account. Just like if you want to or just forget about DMAT account, you must have all of you must have this bank account. Now in that bank account, you have your account number and all these things, and that, let's say you have opened your account in SDFC Bank in Delhi branch. Now if you go to let's say you are in Mumbai, so there if you want to what we say do some sort of transaction or do some sort of activity in your account, let's say update your name or anything, like if you want to get one DD generated, so what you do, you can easily go to that bank. There they will generate your DD, demand draft, through your account. How this is done? Because of your data. Your data is there stored in a database which can be fetched from anywhere as in within that organization. Got it? Everyone understood what database is? Coming back over here, so it is used to retrieve the data or fetch the data, insert the data, and you can delete the data as well. Also, you can exactly Aadhaar card, PAN card, and bank accounts are connected. So when I was talking about DMAT account, so DMAT account is opened either through CDSL or in this NSDL. They open your DMAT account. So once you go and fill any ITR or any document, your PAN card is more than enough. All the details of your savings account, your credit card, your loans, your DMAT account, your mutual funds, everything is stored in your PAN card. With that PAN card, that database is there. Now using database, you can do a lot of things. Now here comes one term called database management system, which we call it as DBMS. DBMS. Now what exactly is DBMS? So the full form of DBMS is database management system. Again, I'm repeating myself, database management system. Now, what is the difference between database and database management system? Database is a collection of tables or records. Sorry, not record, collection of data or tables. DBMS is a software. Just relate the things. Database is a collection of data. Okay, but DBMS is a software that is used to manage the database. Database management system is a software that is used to manage the database. Management, basically management as in you have the database. Now management means how you are going to retrieve it, who is going to retrieve it, who is going to add the data, who is going to manipulate the data, who is going to update the data, who is going to fetch the data, who is going to define the data. These all things are done in DBMS, database management system. It depends actually. Companies like Netflix, they use MySQL. Companies which are using Power BI as a software, they use SSMS, SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. SSMS basically stands for SQL Server Management Studio. They use that. Okay, so that is a RDBMS thing. So basically, most the database that DBMS software that we use, most of the time it is SQL Server. If you are using Power BI, DBA is database administrator. Administration of database, who can manipulate the data, change the data, who can give the access, who can fetch that person can even fetch that person can delete the data as well, retrieve, update the data, manipulate the data, all these things he can do. Okay. Now basically DBMS is a kind of software that provides you to perform different sort of operations like database creation, updating the data, creating the new table, deleting a table, updating a table, creating a column, these kind of things. So basically, DBMS provides a protection and security to your database. Okay. Database, there is a database. Like, for example, your school register, like in our, no. MySQL and SQL are totally two different things. MySQL is a DBMS software. SQL is a language, structured query language. DBA is a kind of very responsible job, because that is where all the data is stored. So you have to take care of that. Now, DBMS allows us to do a lot of things. As I told you, data, you can define the data, as in you can create, modify, and remove the data, as in table. You can update the data, updating as in you can insert, you can modify, you can delete that. Data fetching you can do, you can retrieve the data, and then there is an administration control, where you need to enforce data security, maintain the data, monitor the performance, recover the information if that gets corrupted, all these things. Now here, since we are talking about data, so I'll tell you one fact. You must have seen SSD, and SSDs are fast. Retrieving data from SSD is pretty much, as compared to hard drive, it is kind of difficult. When we use to store our data, we use hard drives, because hard drives are easy to restore, recovering the data, as compared to current SSDs in the market. It is pretty much easy in hard drives, and that too, it is cheaper. It is cheaper. Now, what are the advantages of DBMS? Basically, advantages are, it provides a security for data. It supports manipulation of the data that you can do. Data sharing is there, easy maintenance is there. Jairaj, it depends on organization to organization. It all depends on the cost. It all depends on the cost, and that, and at the end, you are going to type in SQL only. You need to write the SQL language. You must know SQL. These are different tools, just like Python. You should know how to code in Python. Apart from it, you have Jupyter Notebook. You have Anaconda as a provider. You have VS Code. You have Google Colab. Okay. Now, coming back here, easy maintenance is there. But the thing is, there are few disadvantages as well. Now, what disadvantages are? Basically, you have to bear the cost of hardware and software. You need to have a high speed of data processor, and that to a large memory to run DBMS software. As you can see, the software in itself is 500 MB. Then size, it occupies a large space on the disk, and there are chances that it can fail. So these are the things. Okay, got it. Now, then basically moving forward with database, I'll just quickly brief you about the evolution of the database. So first we used to have the file based system, as in pen paper kind of thing. Then we had the hierarchical model. We are talking about this thing, evolution. Then we had this network base, and then we had a relational database that we still have. And apart from this, now what we have is cloud database. So what I was talking about, yeah, this thing. So here, when we were talking about this thing, so then we have nowadays we have cloud-based databases like you have Microsoft SQL Server, you have Google Cloud, you have Snowflake computing is there, AWS is there, and a lot of things are there. Okay. Then there is one more thing called RDBMS. We have one more thing called RDBMS. RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. Now, so when we were talking about RDBMS, RDBMS basically it works on the relational model where we have connection between two tables or more than two tables. Okay, that is called as RDBMS. So modern database management systems that we have nowadays, like MS SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft Access, these all are RDBMS. But then you may ask that, okay, you told DBMS, you told RDBMS. What is the exact difference between them? So a simple difference is DBMS stores data as a file, whereas RDBMS stores data in a tabular form. If you remember, I have told you the concept of primary key and foreign key that we will discuss here as well. We have that, yeah. In SQL, we'll talk about that key and everything. Yes, it is relation based where you are having tables. DBMS does not allows any security with regard to the data manipulation, but RDBMS has a constraint. Currently, we deal with RDBMS, not DBMS. RDBMS, relational database management system. Now, we will straight away move towards SQL. Guys, everyone, please focus here. Here the steps cannot be repeated. Okay, please focus here. Once you download it, double click that and open it. Yeah, so it will this is how it will come up. Okay, now here it will ask you to default, server, client, full, custom. Just make it default and click on next. Whatever is there, just it will be clicked on and just click on next. Next. Yeah, here instead of clicking first, you don't have to directly click the next. Here these are the requirements that needs to be fulfilled before it installs your MySQL. So click on execute. Wherever you see execute, first click on execute and then click on next. Yeah, I agree, install. Yeah, next.
Execute.
One second, Pankaj. Jyoti, please share the screenshot. Non-relational database management system is this XML. XML. Click on execute. 32 bits is there. 32 is there. Community version is 32 bits. 64 bit you need to pay for it. Yes, yes, Riaz. 428 MB. Cancel it and install it again. Cancel it and install it again. Check requirements. Where check requirements? I am not getting any check requirements here. So might not be there. Just click installation. Just click on installation. Execute. Have you clicked on execute? No, then just first click on execute. Just cancel it. Cancel it and install it again. Cancel it and install it again. That's why I'm saying this. Please focus here first. Then see any other thing. Today, this might 20 minutes will go in installation only. And after the break, we will talk about the creation of database and things like that. Is it stuck, Pankaj?
No, it's running, but a bit slow.
No, it takes time. It takes time. I told them 20 minutes. It will take 20 minutes to download. This part is pretty much big apart from it. Rest of this. Select product to upgrade. What to do? Don't select which product to upgrade. Share the screenshot. Is it installed, Bhargav? Search MySQL Workbench on Windows. Click on Windows button and search MySQL Workbench. Yeah, now click next. Now here you will see this thing ready to configure. Just click next. Share the screenshot in the group, Karan. Now here you have these kind of things: name, pipe, shared memory, advanced. You don't have to do anything. Nothing is required. Just whatever is there, just keep it that only. Click next. Yeah. Over here, use is strong. No. Wait. Don't do anything. Just click on the first one only. No. Just click on the first one. Yeah. This is the by default selection. Keep it by default selection. Go to next. Here you need to create a root password. No, don't click back. Root password. Root password is the password when you click MySQL Workbench. There you need to give this password to open your server. So now here just double click, give the password. Whatever password you want, just give any short password. Nothing much is required here. You have downloaded the zip. Yeah, I downloaded the zip file. Swapnil, it will take time. Execute. It's getting executed, Shiva. Jyoti, the second one. Need to download the second one. Yes, have you given the password? Click on next. Here we have this thing, MySQL standard system. Just click on next. Wait. Here something will ask, yes, but let me review and configure. Don't do anything. Just click on next. Next, execute, next, execute. Over here, execute. And don't worry if you are finding it right now difficult to install, or if you are facing any issue, don't install it. Don't install it. You can just see today what is happening. So you can go after it and you can just check how to download it from web, but don't install it wrong. Otherwise, you will have this will not get installed correctly.
Can I make it finish?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, click on finish. Okay, Shiva. Is it failed? No. Okay. Cancel it. Shiva, cancel it. No, you click on next. Here host name and everything is there. Don't do anything. You want to test the connection, you can test the connection, but that is not required. Just click on finish. Next. Here give the password and check. Yeah, connection succeeded. Next. Here it will come like this. Just uncheck all the both of them. Finish. Now this download has been finished now. Okay, all of you, are you clear with the download installation part, how it is done? Now, Pankaj, just search on Windows MySQL Workbench.
Okay.
Search on Windows MySQL Workbench. MySQL Workbench.
Yeah, it is.
Next. Click on next. Yeah, click on next. This is how your workbench will look like. And you can double click this local instance, MySQL 80. Double click that, MySQL connection.
You're talking to me?
This one, no. There is, MySQL connections is written. Not here, at the bottom. Yeah, just double click this. Give your password and save that password in Vault. This is the workbench, how it looks like. Okay. This is how it will look like. Here in schemas, you will find few data sets already available there. Okay. We'll take one case study, and by case study, we will be talking about all these things. You understood for first 30-35 minutes, we have understood what database is. Next 20 minutes, we have spent on proper installing of it step by step, so that if you feel like having any doubts, any issues, if you want to if you want to refer this recording again in future, you can do that. And now in next half, that is next 1 hour, we will be discussing about SQL. What should I have to click on workbench? And in the workbench, you have this option there. Your root is written at the bottom. You can check that out. Let's talk about the SQL. What exactly is SQL? So in the full form of SQL is structured query language. Repeating myself, it is structured query language. SQL basically helps us to access and manipulate the databases. We can access the database, we can manipulate the database, we can update the database using SQL. Okay. Don't worry. No, don't worry. If Sakila is not there, don't worry. It's okay. We are not going to use any of them. We are not going to use any of them. So don't worry about that. Yes. So SQL stands for structured query language. Basically, it helps you to access, manipulate, and update the data. Now, what SQL is capable of doing, I'll tell you. SQL can execute queries for a database. It can retrieve the data, as in fetch the data. it can insert the records, it can update the records, it can delete the record, it can create new databases, can create new tables, and it can set permissions for tables as well. What kind of member access member can look, what up to which extent of data he can look, or up to which extent manipulations he or she can perform. Got it? About SQL, we will be doing all these things, so don't worry about that. Okay, understood this thing, what SQL is capable of, what SQL is. Now let me first tell you the what we say, business problem or the case study we are going to have. Let me draw it for you and kindly take the screenshot of it. Okay, I'll suggest you to do that. Now we have three tables. Basically, we are talking about a bank that is there, and this is a whole new, just like a nowadays we have these banks, right? SBM Bank is there. You must have heard of SBM Bank. FI is there. Online banks, basically Jupiter is there. These banks are there. So we are talking about these online banks. So they do not have any physical branches. They are only having their digital branches. You must have heard of these all banks. That's it. Nothing to do. Last minutes. Okay. Nothing to do here. After this, Pooja, click on this my connection, MySQL connection. Okay. So we are talking about this bank now. This is a digital bank which will have a database of their customers, which the bank is going to use for calculating metrics for growth and helping the business analyze their data in a very smart way. Okay. Haha, it's okay, Yasmin. You are on the same page. Okay. Now, what they are doing, so the bank we are going to discuss is just not only for banking activities. They also have to create a secure distributed data storage platform. So customers are basically allocated cloud storage, which directly is linked of how much money they have in their accounts, what is the FD going on, how much what transaction is being done, UPI and everything. Okay, so the management team in the data has basically decided, or they wanted to increase their total customer base, just like any other company. They wanted to increase their customer base. So also they want to keep how much data storage and how much data we have and what we can do with that data. So in this we have three tables. I'll show you these three tables. First table that we have is, let me draw one by one. The first table that we have here, we will be seeing the relationship as well. Okay, the first table that we have is a regions table. Now this regions table has region ID and region name. No, Pankaj, for this we are going to create the data. We will be creating the sample data. I will be sharing you one drive link where the sample data is already there, so you can directly insert into it. We'll see. Which step, Shivam? Shivam, which step? Last step, which? No, I'm just drawing over here. This is a region table with region ID and region name. Region ID and name. Okay. Then we have customer. customer is having what? Customer is having customer ID, region ID, balance, Vikesh, which three SQL file? These three? It's here in schemas. Click on schema. Click on schema. Vikesh, are you there? Okay. So what we were having, customer, balance, customer ID is already there, account number, customer ID, uniquely identify the customer, region ID, from which region that person belongs to, balance, what all balance he or she has, account number. Then you can have gender. After gender, you can have this thing, what we say, mobile number. Okay, these all records we have. Clear? Address is not required. Actually, we are just taking region, so that's it. Customer name as well. Customer name. We will see these. This is just I'm showing you a sample table how it is thing. How this is done. So over here you see region and customer will have a connection. Region and customer will have a connection with region ID. Can you relate this to Power BI? Guys, can you relate it to Power BI? Okay. Not one-to-one, one-to-many. Then after this, we have transaction. Transaction. In transaction, what you will have is you will have customer ID. Okay. Customer ID you will have. You will have transaction ID. When you go to ATM and take out money, there is one transaction ID written. So that if you have any issue with your amount or some counterfeit notes are there, so you can go to bank and claim that this is the receipt I have received at this time and this is the transaction ID. So they can check at what time these things are done. Okay. Now after this we have transaction type. Whether it is a debit or credit. Okay. Then we have transaction date. And then at last we have the transaction amount. Now, first, I want you to just see this thing, see this dash, see these, this chart, what all tables we are having, and how they are related. Now, these two are related with CID, customer ID. I'll give you 5 minutes, quickly go through it. See if you are able to just if you are able to understand the relation and the table, and tell me if you have any doubt. We are going to create these tables. Today will not move very fast. How will I make this drawing? You cannot make this drawing here. You can screenshot this thing. We will be see, I have just shown you how this thing is, how these are related to each other. Okay. And we will be creating these tables. We might add few more columns. This is just a sample table name and with what kind of data we will be dealing with. That I have shown you here. This is for a bank basically. And this drawing that you have seen now, the relationship, this is called entity relationship diagram. Entity relationship diagram, ER diagram. Entity relationship diagram. See, might be the case you might find SQL a bit difficult, but it is very easy. Just that you have to just put your focus over here, and SQL is really easy. Just like Power BI, it is also easy. Few technical things are there. It's a whole different language itself. So you need to learn, remember few things here. Yes. Let me know for any doubts. No, DAX cannot be used in SQL. DAX cannot be used in SQL. Yes, all of you, are you clear with it? Any doubts in this thing? Only one answer. What about others? Okay. So how's the speed? Speed is normal. Speed is okay. Am I going too fast? ER diagram relationship. Actually, this is the relationship between the tables, right? So that's why we call it as ER diagram. ER diagram, entity relationship diagram. Yes, Amit, you will get the recordings. Recordings by next Tuesday. Okay, so can we move now? Okay, so we will move now with the next things. Let me clear all the drawings. And I'll show you how to do this thing. Now let's create the database. The first thing that you have to do is create the database. Here also you have the comments. So how to add the comment, I'll show you. Hyphen space. This is comment. Creating a database. SQL is not a case sensitive language. Which means if you write create or create, both the things are same. Both the things are same. If you write create or create, both the things are same. Okay. Now we'll create a database. So to create a database, you write create database and then database name. So we can give any name. Let's give Neo Bank and put a semicolon. Semicolon basically helps you to execute the code block by block, you will see this thing. Why we are not using SQLite and DB browser for SQL instead of Aniket? Because we are creating a database here. If you use online SQL, you will not be able to create database there. There are predefined things are there. Or if you have, you need to create Oracle. Oracle database is kind of complex. Browser part of it is kind of complex. This installation, I'll tell you, is the one of the easiest thing. You don't have to do anything. Just click on execute, next, execute, next, execute, next. That's it. No selection is required. No new selection or anything needs to be done. Apur, yes, this is creating the database. Semicolon means this will run the code block by block, not line by line, block by block. We'll see this thing. We'll see this thing. For now, let me remove it. Create database, neobanks. Let me know if it is clear. Any doubts? Vibhor, I'll explain you that afterwards. As and when we are going to use it, I'll show you. No, it's not case sensitive. It's not case sensitive. Once you select it, select this, whichever line you need to execute, select that line. And you see this option over here, this thunder kind of option. This option here. Click on this. Once you click on this, you will have something seen over here. You can see this over here. Okay. Now, for execution, you can. No, Bhushan, don't use that. Use this flash option here. For now, use this flash option. So this gets created. Now, in order to see this thing, you will be able to see it here once you refresh this. Click on this button. It will refresh and you will be able to see neobanks. Let me know if all of you are on the same page. Data spelling, check. Bhargav, check the spelling. Bhargav, check the spelling. Click on next. Adarsha, click on next. Next, execute. That's it. Nothing else to be done. Okay, all of you clear? You'll have this. Are you able to see this database here? Okay. Now this is the database that you have created. Okay. Now use database, using the database. So now once you have created the database, no, semicolon is not necessary. Remove it. I'll just remove it. Wait, semicolon is not necessary. For now, it is not necessary. So what I was telling, this thing. So creating, once you have created the database, yes, to create the comments, write the comments. So once you have created the database, what next thing needs to be done is that now you have to use it. In order to use it, you have to specifically mention which kind of data or which database you are going to use. Unless it will not be, the system will not be able to understand what kind of database you are going to use or which database you are talking about. So it will throw you error. Okay. It's not case sensitive. SQL is not case sensitive. SQL is not case sensitive. Using the database. Now, in order to use the database, how we write it is use database name. Database name is what? Neo banks. Select it, execute. What happened? Unknown database, Neo banks. And oh, sorry, it's a typo. Neo it should be. Wait. It should be Neo. Wait. Creating the database, Neo banks created. Now you can use it. Neobanks. Using neobanks. See, use neobanks. Now you are using the neobanks database. Correct? Understood? All of you, please tell. Now, you were asking, what is the purpose of semicolon? Why we use it? The reason we use semicolon is it's a way we it's a way we use to separate these SQL statements. This now is output will not come because you are not using any database. You're not create. I'll show you that. Wait. That I will show you. Wait. Let me first finish this thing. So now, in order to separate the SQL statements, we use the semicolon or the block I was talking about. So what is the use of it? So the use is it allows us to execute more than one SQL statement in the same call. If I click on this option, it will throw me error. Let me delete it first. I'll show you. See. That is not a use. This is error here. See, red line is coming. This is what I'm explaining. Wait. This is the error coming up over here. So see, creating database. So semicolons are used to separate each SQL statement, which basically allows us to execute in the same call. If I hit this button, it will throw me error. This is the error. You have error in a SQL statement, check the correspondence, and this is this. Reason? Because these two statements are not separated. The system, the SQL is considering it as the same statement, just one under the other. So in order to avoid that, we have semicolon. So semicolon, as I mentioned, it creates it by block by block. I'm again repeating this thing. Semicolon is used to separate each SQL statement, and which allows us to execute more than one SQL statement in the same call. Understood? Got it? Clear? Waiting for your answer. No, it will not create multiple databases. It will throw you error. Check. Guys, I'm waiting for your answers. My schema's name not changed because you have not refreshed it. Click on the refresh button. Swapnil. Click on the refresh button. Link, nothing is shared. Nothing is shared yet. We will be creating it now only. We'll be creating it here. But most probably we will not create any tables today. We will not create any tables today. Otherwise, you'll forget everything whatever we have discussed about SQL in database. So we are not going to create the table. We'll be creating table and manipulating it tomorrow, not today. So creation of database is done. This is done. Now I see this error is coming up. Now if I don't have to select and execute, what I need to do is I'll just execute it. Swapnil, share me the screenshot. Shani, please share me the screenshot. Okay. So database exists, you cannot create it multiple times. Just like in place equals to true. Once you use it, you cannot use it again and again. Yeah. So now, if we write 4 or 5 lines, means the end of that we need to put one that is also a block. Or yes, it is a block. At the end, please share the screenshot with error. If any error is coming, please share the screenshot with that error. Okay. Now, we saw these things. We saw the database creation. We saw this thing. Okay. Now, we can do that, but that is again an advanced topic. If database exists, drop, those are advanced topics. We are not going to do that. We are not going to do that. Okay. Now, once we create the database, we can also drop it. Dropping the database as in, let me create one sample database and I'll drop it. Drop the database. I'll first create that. Create database DB. Execute that. And once database is created, what we do next is we delete it. How to drop a database? So in order to drop the database, yeah, just a minute, I'm checking that. 1 minute. So after neobanks, semicolon is missing. Semicolon is missing. That's why error is coming. I just mentioned that it is creating block by block. Semicolon missing, Manjula. For you as well, semicolon missing. Please check. Blocks. I just mentioned block. Clear, everyone? Semicolon missing, create database, neobank, semicolon is missing. Please check the semicolons. Please check the semicolons, everyone. Swapnil, semicolon is missing. Check that. Now I'll explain you how to drop the database. To drop the database, what you do is you write drop database and database name. So over here, you will be able to see two databases, neobanks and DB. Okay, you are able to just see two databases. And now, Kamaljot, please share the screenshot. Now, here we use neobanks we have used, so you can see it's bold as well now. So in order to drop the database, you just need to execute this statement. Now can you see, Bhargav? You don't have to drop any database, just I'm showing you how to drop the database. Bhargav, can you see that now? Is it visible now? Here, see. DB is showing up, see? Here, if it is in your system, refresh that. This one, this option. This option. After giving the semicolon, there is still red line under the use. Show me the error. Give me the screenshot. Okay, I'll execute this line here. Yes, we have to create and then only you can delete. So just see it how to delete. This part you can do it afterwards. This is how you create it. Create database neobanks, and this is how the drop database thing happens. Just click this option, and you will see your database getting deleted. Now, right now you can see DB. When you refresh, no DB is there. Shani, it will not be there in your system because you have not created the database. So first you have to create it and then you can delete it. I have created it. I have created the database here. So you can create it or you can delete that database afterwards. Just see this thing how it is done. That's it. This is how the database gets deleted. That's it. Okay. No. Now let's talk about few data types. What data types we have is the data types in SQL. Each SQL has its own database. MySQL has its own data types. SQL has its own. SSMS has its own. I'm giving you the this thing. This is how it is related. Apurva, I've shared in the chat window. You can check that how it is related. DB is not there. That's why you are not getting it. Bhargav, DB is not there. Database DB I have created. Database DB I have created. That's why DB is not there. You can create it as well. Create database DB and your database will be created. Now, yes, Priya, it does gives that. Now we have few data types. We have char. Need to give size over here. Size, it's a fixed length. You can give from 0 to 55. Okay, size is 0 to 255. Then after this we have varchar. Size, again, this is kind of more 0265 535. Character and varchar, char and varchar. These two, we will see the working of it in the these are basically used to take the string type of input. Okay, these are used to take the string type of input. Then after this, we have numeric data type. So in numeric, we have int. After int, we have float. Float is nothing but you all know what float is. Which is default? No, not default. These sizes, only these sizes are available. You cannot have more than this. These sizes are available only. Okay. Now after this, we have this int float. Then we have what we have is we have date. We have date. We have date time. After date time, we don't have any much data that we are going to use. These only data types we are having. Size actually depends. For int float, it depends. It is there for int. It is, I think so, from if you go positive, it is I think so 0 to something around what we say, 4 billion. 4 billion something. 4 billion. Yes, Boolean can be used. Yes, we have a data set Boolean, but we don't use it. Just like bool, BOOL, bool. Bool and Boolean, two are there. They are same. Let me write that. Bool. Bool or Boolean. Bool or Boolean are same. Okay. Are you clear with it? Guys, clear? Before size thing we will talk about when we will be creating a table. You'll clearly understand what these are. No, not each time. This is just sample I've shown you. You don't need to write it each time. Just sample. This is just sample. This is just sample. You need not to write it again and again. You need not to write it again and again. This is just a sample. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'll share you one link. Please fill up that form. And we are done for today. We don't have much. Actually, we have a lot of things to discuss, but not today. Otherwise, you guys will get confused. Dataset we will be creating. Amit, we will be creating our dataset on our own. We will be creating the dataset on our own. Fixed point float, yeah, kind of they are same. We will talk about that. We will talk about those datasets. Those dataset we will be using in creating the table. At that point of time, it will be more clear where exactly it is used. Varchar, I told you, they are used for character data type, character as in string data type. Okay. Okay. All of you, please fill up the form. It's shared in the group here only. I've shared it again. Control S. Control S. You don't need to save it today. You can leave it. For today, you can leave it. We will be saving it tomorrow. Because you have not used it. Use neoblank. Use neoblank keyword. Can we use block next to create block in the next line? Then both are come under the same block. No. Once you put the semicolon, it will come under the next block. Once you put the semicolon, it will come under the next block only. Okay, yeah, thanks. So those who have submitted, they can drop off. You can use, but then you need to put the semicolon. You can use, but you need to put the semicolon. Okay, guys, thanks everyone. Kindly fill the form and good night. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time.